There's a moment every trader knows: the silence before the open. The charts haven't moved yet, but your mind already has. Your thoughts race between hope and fear, between the dream of profit and the memory of loss. You tell yourself you're ready. You have a plan, a system, a strategy, but somewhere beneath all of that, you feel the tension building, a quiet whisper that says, what if? What if this is the one? What if you miss it? What if everyone else gets there first? That's not analysis. That's emotion. That's the psychology behind every decision you make. Because trading isn't about charts or patterns. It's about managing your own biology, the chemical storms that live inside you every time money is on the line. No one teaches you this part. They teach setups and entries, but not silence and patience. They teach reward to risk, but not the risk of your own reactions. That's why this channel exists, because the real market isn't out there. It's in here, inside your head, inside your breath, inside that fragile space between fear and control. So take a deep breath. Slow down. This isn't about chasing the next trade. This is about mastering the mind that makes every trade. Welcome to Mind Over Markets. Today we talk about the art of controlling hype in the most dangerous season of all, earnings season. Every trader knows this feeling. Earnings season arrives. And suddenly the market feels alive again. The headlines scream, the chat rooms buzz, every ticker glows with potential. And deep down a familiar voice whispers, this might be the one. You tell yourself you're calm. You say you're disciplined. But your pulse quickens as you scroll through the charts. Tesla reports tomorrow, Apple next week, Nvidia soon after, and each candle feels like a lottery ticket you might miss. You've done this before. You've seen the pattern. Every earnings season, the same emotional storm returns, the storm of hype. When you first started trading, you thought knowledge would save you. You studied the charts, memorized setups, read books on candlesticks and indicators. You believed that if you could just understand enough, you'd finally be in control. But knowledge doesn't stop adrenaline. It doesn't silence fear. And it doesn't cure the illusion that you can predict the market. Because trading isn't a battle between you and the chart. It's a battle between you and your own impulses. You open your watch list. You see a stock up 12% after hours. Social media calls it the next big breakout. Everyone's posting screenshots of quick profits. Your brain lights up with dopamine. You feel the pull. Your rational mind says wait for confirmation. But your emotional brain screams, don't miss it. And that's when it happens. You forget your plan. You convince yourself that this time is different, that you just have a feeling. You buy the breakout. And as the market opens the next morning, the chart turns against you fast. You freeze. You tell yourself it's a shakeout. You hold. You hope. You watch green turn to red and then red deepen into loss. That's not a technical error. That's psychology. The earnings season doesn't destroy traders because of bad numbers. It destroys them because of expectations. Every report, every headline, every whisper of guidance creates a fantasy in your mind. You imagine how the market should react. And when it doesn't, you feel betrayed. You feel confused, angry, impatient. But the market never betrayed you. It simply didn't match the story you told yourself. The illusion of control, that's the most expensive bias in trading. You believe you can outthink randomness. You believe your analysis gives you power over chaos. But the market is not a puzzle to solve. It's a mirror reflecting your emotional state. If you need to be right, you will suffer. If you need control, you will panic. If you chase certainty, you will find anxiety instead. Earnings season is the perfect psychological trap because it blends information with emotion. It gives you data to justify your hope, numbers to rationalize your bias, and volatility to amplify every fear you've ever hidden. You don't just trade a ticker, you trade your beliefs about the future. And when the future doesn't agree, you punish yourself for being human. Every trader talks about risk management, but few talk about emotion management. They think stop losses will protect them, but a stop loss can't protect you from revenge trades. A position size can't stop you from overconfidence. A trading plan means nothing if you can't follow it when you're afraid. That's the real game, the inner game. So, as you sit there watching the candles dance, listening to the noise grow louder each day, ask yourself this: are you trading the market, or are you trading your own excitement? Because every time you chase hype, you're not trading the chart. You're trading your craving for certainty. You're trading the part of your mind that can't stand not knowing what happens next. And until you make peace with uncertainty, you'll keep losing not to the market, but to yourself. The best traders don't win because they know more. They win because they feel less. They've learned to separate emotion from execution. They don't chase the earnings report. They wait for clarity, for structure, for confirmation. They understand that opportunity is infinite, but capital is not. And the only way to survive earnings season is to master hype control. You open your trading app again. You don't even know why. You told yourself you wouldn't look until the close, but your thumb moves faster than your mind. It's muscle memory now, the reflex of a restless trader. Another ticker surges. Green everywhere. Your feed explodes with screenshots, charts, and "I told you so" comments. And for a moment, that quiet voice inside you starts whispering again. You're missing it. That whisper is the sound of FOMO. Fear of missing out, the most seductive voice in trading. It sounds rational. It feels urgent. It disguises itself as opportunity. But in truth, it's fear wearing the mask of logic. FOMO doesn't start in the market. It starts in the mind. Your brain is wired to crave belonging, to feel safe when others agree with you. When everyone's buying, your survival instinct interprets it as validation. If they're all doing it, it must be right. It's the same instinct that once kept tribes alive and now makes traders destroy their accounts. When you see that green candle break resistance, you don't just see price movement, you see hope. Hope that you can catch the move. Hope that this trade will make up for the last mistake. Hope that you'll finally feel what winning feels like again. But hope is not a strategy. It's a craving for emotional relief. You don't want profits. You want peace. You want to silence the noise inside that says you're not doing enough. So you click buy, and instantly there's a rush. For a few seconds, your heart slows. Your breath steadies because you've taken action. You've given the mind what it wanted, certainty. But that relief doesn't last because you didn't enter from clarity. You entered from fear. And fear never trades well. FOMO trades are born from the illusion of missing opportunity. But the truth is, the market never stops offering chances. It only stops rewarding impatience. Every great setup, every clean breakout, every trend reversal comes to those who wait for confirmation. Not because waiting changes the chart, but because waiting changes you. Patience isn't passive. It's active control of emotion. Every time you delay action, you weaken the hold of impulse. You teach your brain that not reacting is also a decision. And that's what separates a gambler from a professional. A gambler trades to feel alive. A trader acts only when conditions align. When you feel that rush, that compulsion to act because everyone else is paused, don't fight it. Observe it. Notice how it feels in your body, the tension in your chest, the heat behind your eyes, the restless energy in your hands. That's the biology of trading psychology. You can't eliminate it, but you can witness it. And when you witness emotion, you weaken its power over you. There's a reason the best traders seem cold, detached, almost emotionless. It's not because they don't feel fear or greed. It's because they've built a habit, a discipline of delay. They know the first urge is always emotional. They've trained themselves to pause before acting, to let the wave pass, to let reason catch up to instinct. In that pause lies your edge. You think your edge is your chart pattern. You think it's your indicator or your entry signal. But the real edge, the one most traders never develop, is emotional regulation, the ability to wait through uncertainty, to see a move happen without you and still feel calm. That's mastery. That's freedom. Ask yourself how many of your losses came from missing a setup and how many came from chasing one. You'll realize the market rarely punishes patience. It punishes neediness, the need to be in a trade, the need to make something happen, the need to feel in control. But control isn't in the entry. It's in the discipline to delay. When you learn to wait, you shift from reacting to responding. You trade less, but better. You start to notice that setups come to you naturally because your mind isn't clouded by noise. The charts didn't change, you did. And that's when you begin to understand that trading is not about finding opportunities. It's about avoiding traps. The market rewards those who master boredom, the ability to sit still when others can't, the discipline to do nothing when nothing should be done. That's not weakness, that's strength. Because every impulsive trader is a liquidity provider for the patient one. Every time you resist FOMO, you're not missing out, you're filtering noise. So next time earnings season rolls around and hype fills every corner of your feed, remember this. You're not here to predict, you're here to respond. You're not chasing excitement, you're cultivating control. Let others chase the noise, let them post their screenshots. You're playing a different game. You're not trading the stock, you're trading yourself. And you're learning slowly but surely that the best move is often no move at all. There's a moment every trader knows the silence before the open. The charts haven't moved yet, but your mind already has. Your thoughts race between hope and fear, between the dream of profit and the memory of loss. You tell yourself you're ready. You have a plan, a system, a strategy. But somewhere beneath all of that, you feel the tension building, a quiet whisper that says, what if this is the one? What if you miss it? What if everyone else gets there first? That's not analysis. That's emotion. That's the psychology behind every decision you make. Because trading isn't about charts or patterns. It's about managing your own biology, the chemical storms that live inside you every time money is on the line. No one teaches you this part. They teach setups and entries, but not silence and patience. They teach reward to risk, but not the risk of your own reactions. That's why this channel exists, because the real market isn't out there. It's in here, inside your head, inside your breath, inside that fragile space between fear and control. So take a deep breath, slow down. This isn't about chasing the next trade. This is about mastering the mind that makes every trade. Welcome to Mind Over Markets. Today we talk about the art of controlling hype in the most dangerous season of all, earnings season. There's a moment after every trade closes, a quiet space between what was and what comes next. Most traders skip over it. They rush to check the next setup, the next chart, the next opportunity. But that pause, that silence between trades, is where growth actually happens. It's where you see the truth of your trading psychology, the emotional residue left behind after the storm. Were you calm? Were you patient? Or were you chasing again, hoping to fill a space that has nothing to do with money? Earnings season doesn't destroy traders because of volatility. It destroys them because of emotional exhaustion. The constant chase for action, the endless cycle of hope and disappointment, the adrenaline that never stops burning. You think you love trading, But maybe what you've been addicted to is the feeling of trading, the rush, the chaos, the illusion of control. Real traders don't chase that feeling anymore. They've gone beyond it. They've learned that peace is more profitable than excitement. When you master calm, you master yourself. And when you master yourself, the market becomes simple again. Not easy, but simple. Because you no longer fight against it. You flow with it. You understand that every move up or down is just data. It doesn't define you. It doesn't attack you. It simply is. You no longer need to prove anything. You no longer trade to feel alive. You trade because it's your craft, your art, your discipline. There's a quote I often remind myself of: discipline is remembering what you want. When you chase hype, you forget what you truly want. You want consistency, not chaos, freedom, not thrills, control, not constant noise. Every impulsive click, every emotional entry is you forgetting your purpose for a moment. But when you return to stillness, when you remind yourself why you trade, you become grounded again. And from that ground, your decisions become powerful, calm, precise, measured. Here's a truth few will tell you. Success in trading isn't about making more trades. It's about making fewer mistakes. And every mistake is born from emotion, from impatience, from fear, from greed, from the hunger to feel in control. If you can learn to recognize emotion as it rises, you can stop the mistake before it happens. You don't need to suppress it. You just need to see it. The simple act of awareness changes everything, because you can't change what you don't notice. Think of the market as a mirror. It reflects your mind in real time. If you're calm, you see structure. If you're anxious, you see chaos. The chart never lies. It simply reveals what's inside you. Every loss you take, every impulse you regret is feedback, not failure. The market is teaching you what your ego refuses to see. And the faster you learn that lesson, the longer you'll last in this game. In earnings season, hype will always exist. It's part of the ecosystem. Analysts, news anchors, influencers, they all feed the frenzy. They profit from your attention. They sell certainty in a world built on randomness. But you don't have to buy it. You can learn to observe it from a distance to see the storm, but not step into it. The chaos isn't yours unless you claim it. You can watch others chase and simply smile, knowing that you've already chosen a different path. The trader who controls emotion controls longevity. The one who seeks peace over excitement eventually finds freedom. You will still feel fear. You will still feel greed, but they no longer drive the car. They sit quietly in the back seat while your discipline holds the wheel. And in that stillness, that space between reaction and response, you find mastery. The final stage of trading psychology isn't confidence. It's surrender. Not surrender to the market, but surrender to uncertainty. The acceptance that you will never know for sure. And that's okay. When you stop needing to predict, you finally start to see. You begin to act without attachment, to win without pride, to lose without shame. That's the paradox of trading mastery. You gain control only when you stop trying to control. So as earnings season fades and the noise quiets down, remember this: the next season will come, the hype will rise again. But so will your awareness. Because now you understand. You don't fight hype, you outgrow it. You've learned that peace is the ultimate edge, and that no setup, no signal, no strategy is more powerful than a calm mind. That's where consistency is born. That's where clarity lives, and that's what makes you a trader. Not the trades you take, but the mind you build. So the next time you feel that pull, that rush, that voice saying you're missing it, pause, breathe, smile. Because you know the truth now, you never miss what's meant for you. You only miss what you chase too soon. And the trader who waits, the trader who breathes, the trader who watches without reacting, that trader wins. Not just in the market, but in life. This is mind over markets, where clarity is currency and discipline is freedom. You started this journey looking for an edge, but maybe what you needed wasn't more knowledge, it was more awareness. Earnings season will come again. The headlines will return, the hype will rise, and every trader around you will once again chase the noise. But you'll be different now. You'll remember what you learned here, that emotion is a signal, not an instruction. That patience is a strategy, not a weakness. That clarity only exists when you stop needing the market to make you feel safe. Because in the end, trading isn't about prediction. It's about presence. The ability to stay calm while others panic, to stay patient while others chase, to stay disciplined when your mind wants chaos. And when you can do that, you no longer trade to prove yourself. You trade to express yourself from stillness, from control, from peace. That's the real edge. That's mind over markets. If this message resonated with you, share it with another trader who's still fighting the noise. And remember, the next time you feel the pull of hype, pause, breathe, and return to clarity. Because the market will always test your system. But the real test is whether you can master your own mind.